To Rooted in Wellness. Today we're going to talk about a wellness reset and what to do when you've fallen off the wagon.
So I think the first question you need to ask yourself is when you're down, like really down, and in a little bit of a funk, which we can all relate to this time of year.
Yes.
What is one small habit that you can do and that you can achieve for maybe like the first week? So I think you need to go back to the basics and remember those daily habits and start really small. So if the only thing you think you can do for a few days is read 10 pages,
Right.
or go get 10 minutes of sunlight, like start very small.
Right. Make it realistic.
Yeah.
Be able to check it off the list.
Because like for me, I know I started off the year with the 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. And like when I'm at school, that naturally happens. But, you know, on days where I'm off or a snow day, I'm not getting outside. It just isn't always possible. So I've kind of went back to 5,000, but I've also incorporated my other non-negotiables with that. So
Right.
Yeah.
I was helping a coworker who was struggling with this, and she came to me and I was like, let's pick 3 things that you can do this week. And she was already working out. She goes to a workout class to help hold her accountable. So we did that, and then we said water and steps, and those were like all she focused on the first few days.
And that's really good because then it kind of brings you back to the center point of like, okay, we don't have to drop everything.
Right.
Let's just do something where we can actually make it realistic, check it off the list, and then we're going to feel just energized by that in general.
Right.
And knowing what you can do on your worst days.
Yeah.
Like with that, right? Because like if we plan for our best days, naturally we'll want to like do all the things. But if we also plan for our worst days, then we'll be more realistic.
Right.
If I make a to-do list and it has 20 things on it, I've already set myself up for a really bad failure.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and I'm even thinking like when we talk about eating, for example, right? And I know this month we're going to talk a lot about like healthy snacks.
Right.
I know we're going to be sharing some recipes with you all on Rooted in Wellness. But there's a thing called lizard brain treats. And the reason I bring this up is because literally it's in our brain. It's our amygdala is our lizard brain. It's like our survival brain. So like when we talk about our worst days or days where, you know, we don't have enough energy or we're just kind of getting through the day or we don't have time to maybe get all of our steps in. When we're in that minute, we oftentimes reach for something that's going to give us instant gratification, maybe high sugar or that donut that's in the teacher's lounge at work, like whatever that is, we're more apt to reach for that. So a lizard brain treat is kind of prepping for being in that survival mode. So it's like a quick 10 to 15 minute max prep time of a treat. I think of them as like maybe a turkey sausage stick or like a mozzarella stick. You really want to just be cognizant of combining high protein, some carbs and some sugars to like stabilize your blood sugar. So it's not something, some healthy fats like trail mix, for example, something that's going to quickly calm that anxiety or calm your lizard brain and get you back into your prefrontal cortex, like thinking brain.
Right.
And so when we have snacks prepared, we're less likely to reach for those quick sugar meals that are going to not just bring us back maybe to a high blood sugar, but they're not going to help our emotional state. They're not going to help us think clear, make better decisions. Like
and that's
some of
where
my
it gets
favorites.
addicting because you're like, you have that and now you want more and more and more of it. So.
Right. Yeah. And then you get down on yourself and it's a never ending cycle. So
just so how you said about being prepared, or like having it prepared. We probably have talked about meal prepping and just having your meals planned out. Definitely helps. I'm sometimes so lazy throughout the week, and this is embarrassing to admit, to like wash vegetables. Like I'll get cucumbers and I'll get mini peppers, and I want to eat them. Like when I do my grocery pickup, gonna eat more vegetables. If I don't wash them and cut them up,
They don't get eaten.
Yeah, and then they go to waste, and then I feel bad. So what I did last week was I washed them, I put them in little baggies, and then they were easy to grab.
Yeah,
nice.
that's smart.
So it was like something that took, 5 extra minutes of that.
Yes.
And I felt better.
And that's exactly like what we're talking about with the lizard brain treat, having it prepped, but also something quick because no one's going to want to have to make something or wash those veggies in that moment.
Yeah.
Right. Especially if you're already stressed and put out to your max. The
Yes.
last thing you're gonna do is go peel a carrot
Right.
and cut it up.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and even like combining a carrot with ranch, like
Right.
you don't have to do that all or nothing thing. Like you can combine things that you like
Right.
with healthy things, and I think that's what we talk about with just make sure you add to, not always subtract. Add healthy things before you subtract all of the negative things,
Yeah.
I guess.
So then there are 4 steps to a wellness reset. Movement, sleep, nutrition, and just your mindset in general. So I think with, excuse me, with movement, even if you are super overwhelmed, think of it very small. Like anything would count. 10 minutes, push-ups, if you just lay down and stretch and do something simple that way. Really thinking basic and not too extreme, just to kind of come back to the center, still get in a little bit of movement. Nutrition, what you kind of said, the better you eat, the better you're going to feel. You're fueling your body, so go ahead.
I think just like it's important to not be the restrictive mindset of I'm not going to eat that sugar or I'm not going to eat that dessert, and instead, like you said, add before you subtract. So like add in the protein, add in the healthy fats, and focus on that. Those types of foods will help you feel fuller longer, and then you won't grab that sweet treat.
Grab the random.
Yeah. And small wins create momentum, which is something that I know we've talked about and is in the research. So
Yeah, for sure. For sleep, I was telling them even if I go to bed 30 minutes earlier than I would have the night before, I'm gonna feel so much better the next morning, even if it's a placebo. Like in my head, I was like, okay, I made myself a hard line tonight to go to bed at 10:30 instead of 11:30 or 11, and I'm gonna wake up feeling more energized. I don't know, you guys go to bed early or late?
I try to get to bed early.
Yeah.
I need my sleep.
Yeah.
well, I go to bed relatively early. My thing is staying asleep. Like I'll wake up in the middle of the night, I'll toss and turn, and then it's hard to go back to bed.
Once you've gotten that initial wake up.
But similar to what we've kind of talked about on here before is I just try not to pick up my phone during that time.
Right.
Because then it's game over. But if I just give myself a minute, get recentered, then I typically can go back relatively fast.
I definitely need to work on mine. I do good, and then it's one night to derail, and then I'm like, I only have this time to get everything done while everybody's sleeping. And it's like, I wake up just crabby.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and
And
they
sluggish.
say the worst thing to do when you get behind on sleep during the week is to try to catch up on the weekends, because it doesn't actually reset your circadian rhythm.
Right, you don't catch up. You
Right.
kind of
So it's better to wake up at the same time, even just when you're tired, because then you'll still go to bed because you'll be
Right.
so tired that same night.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah.
And then the mindset one, gratitude,
it's big.
journals.
I try to even, if I am feeling, which I have been this whole winter, to be honest, kind of crappy. I try not to reach for my phone first thing. So I'll try to go outside, maybe even get grounded. Obviously in the snow, that was very hard. I would sit in my jacket, hating every minute. And the further I push my phone off, the better I feel when I do get to it. It's kind of like a weird, I don't know, achievement. Like sometimes when I run, for instance, I'm like, okay, I'm really tired. I'm running up this hill. I really want to stop. But if I could just make it to that telephone pole, I'll be happy with myself. And then you get to that telephone pole and you're like, okay, that wasn't too bad. What if I go to the next one? That's how I feel the longer I push my phone off. So I'm like, okay, I did 10 minutes outside. Now I'm going to go make some hot water, drink a glass of lemon water, and then I'm going to do 5 minutes of my gratitude journal. And then I'm going to open my computer and start work and check my phone and all that.
That reminds me too of just starting in the morning.
Yeah.
Because I feel like if I don't start those habits that I have, which might just be drinking water first, or taking my vitamins, if I blow those off, then I'm more willing to blow off the rest of my habits throughout the day.
Everything, right. It derails the whole day.
It really does.
Yeah, I think it goes back to your momentum comment.
Small wins build momentum.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's going to carry you through the day. you work out in the morning, so that probably helps you.
It does, yeah.
Make smarter decisions throughout the day.
And it is kind of like retraining your brain, like that.
Right.
Even just like with you running, like, oh, when I get to that, stop sign, I'm gonna stop. Like, you're literally training your brain during the day to do those things, and ultimately, once you get used to it, your neural networks actually change.
It's never as bad as you think it is. Yeah,
right.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah.
But yeah. And I notice if I wake up and I feel already behind, I'm checking my phone, I'm hopping on the computer to start work before I've even like stretched or drank any water. And I'll notice Eric even be like, you gotta step away. And I'm like, good point.
Yes.
Like he's like, your head's gonna hurt in an hour if you don't. I'm like, yeah, true. So.
Yeah, and knowing what works for you.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing something under mindset. Is there any, like...
Well, I was just going to say, like, I heard you say that going outside and, like, getting in the sun naturally, like, helps you with your wellness reset. Kind of like that centering piece for you.
Right.
And I know we've talked before, like, even just when it comes to, kids, right? Like, different kids have different ways of calming down. Like, I know some kids and some humans might take deep breathing or practice their breath to kind of reset, to get zen. But then other kids might be bottom up processors and need that bilateral stimulation or movement in order to get centered and reset and calm. And so just kind of with that mindset shift, knowing what works for you, versus what doesn't, I think is sometimes half the battle.
Right. And you do got to figure that out for yourself.
Yeah.
Like we were kind of talking about before we started this podcast, like what is a reset? Like what does it do? And I was like, it kind of depends on the person.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're down, you plan this reset, why do you fail? Too extreme. So like trying to add too much at once, which is like what we said to do a few, like pick a few habits, and then you can build. But don't be too extreme off the bat or like have too many goals. And then also we've talked a lot about this before, no accountability. A lot of people fail because when you do anything by yourself, it's hard to stick with it.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
So how does it, friends?
Yeah.
Have friends who are going to push you and tell you what you don't want to hear sometimes.
Yeah.
It's true.
But
it's so helpful.
It really is.
They know you'll feel better afterward.
Like even this morning, I probably wouldn't have gone to the gym if I didn't know Corinne had already started her commute from Fairmont. Like I literally, like it is so important to have that piece because
It is.
a lot of times you will need that accountability. So kind of going off of that, what do you do next? So we talked a little bit about like having a 7-day plan. Oftentimes, like when you have a plan, you already set yourself up for success. When you have this initial small wins, you're going to build momentum. So picking 3 daily habits, things again that work for you. One, you're going to track them. So find some way that you're going to track them. You could on our calendar that we share each month. 2, reflect at the end of the day. So really just take some time, could be 2 minutes, 5 minutes, to just reflect on those things, those intentions you set for the day. And then 3, celebrate, which is huge. And oftentimes one that we really do forget about is celebrate your success. Like, because that's what keeps you going. Like if you're just doing the same thing all the time and never really like recognizing it, like, wow, I did that today. Like you're building self-trust, you're building good habits. You're recognizing that you can do it, right? You can do hard things. Yeah, you can be consistent. And like acknowledging that for yourself sometimes is very looked over. And we just kind of wanted to define a reset for us is who we feel best as. So a reset is who you feel best as. And that kind of ties into, us trying to be the best version of us and what we kind of, why we do this podcast.
Yeah, and it's not going to be perfect.
No.
You're just talking about that before.
Yeah.
But we're doing it.
Yeah.
That's all that matters.
Right.
But consistency, what do you always say? Over intensity?
Yes. Yeah. So, like we said, we will have some recipes for some good healthy snacks this March. But you won't see them unless you're following our Rooted in Wellness social media. Remember, it's Rooted in Wellness, but the E is actually a 3. Thank you for listening.